For this presentation, I researched 5 different topics of a career path that I would probably want to choose in the future. And they're all science because as of right now, I am a science geek. And the worst one that I found was a forensic science technician. And it probably is most appealing to me because as a kid, I always used to watch the CSI shows with my parents and my sisters. And for the people that don't know, they collect and analyze evidence, and most of the technicians would specialize in a certain thing, whether they would be a lab technician or they would be the investigators who would go out to the crime scenes and would collect all the evidence and bring it back so that the lab techs can analyze it. And if you wanted to be a lab tech, then you would need to get a bachelor's degree in either forensic science or a natural science like biology or ecology or something like that. And for the crime scene investigators, you would primarily be in the police force first and then take special training to go into investigations. And the outlook for this from 2010 to 2020 is 19%, which is as fast as average for another, compared to the other possible careers out there. And the 2010 median is $24.79 per hour, and that would be approximately $52,000 per year. And then the second to last one that I found that would be interesting to me is a zoologist and wildlife biologist, which would study the characteristics and habitats of animals and wildlife. And to do this, you would just have to take a lot of science classes and get a bachelor's degree for an entry-level position. But if you wanted to advance in the field, then you would need to get a master's degree. And for me, I would probably get marine biology because I am very fascinated by all the marine animals and the life that is there. And the outlook for this is slower than average with 7% compared to the other career paths possible, but with the marine biology outlook on it, it might be just about as steady as any other one might be. And the 2010 median pay would be approximately $27.61 per hour, which would be $58,000 per year. And a conservation scientist would be my middle option, and it's where you would give technical help to people who are concerned with conservation of oil or soil and water and air. And for this, you would primarily get a bachelor's in forestry because the forests are the first and foremost thing that are getting destroyed now because of growing population and running out of room for all the people and the climate change. But if you didn't want to work with the forest and you wanted to work with the soil or water, then you would get something in biology or in ecology if you wanted to work with soil and water. And the outlook for this is slower than average with 5%, and the median pay would be about $27.60 per hour, which would be about $57,420 per year, which isn't that bad. And then the next one would be an environmental engineer, which is very similar to the last one. They would find and analyze contaminants in soil, air, and water, and they would evaluate the impact that it would have on the environment. So, for example, if someone wanted to build a mall, they would have to go and find an environmental engineer and have them analyze the situation, and if it would be a really big impact that would be negative for the environment, then they would have to take certain precautions, or else they would have to find somewhere else to do it. And for this, all you would need is pretty much a bachelor's in science or in science engineering. But some people do go on to get a master's, and they eventually end up becoming higher up in the field. And this is actually at 22% for an outlook, and it's faster than average. And if you wanted to do this, then it's probably worth your while if you're concerned about the environment, mostly because with the climate change and the growth of population, a lot of people are going to be needed, especially throughout the world and in rural areas where there's a lot growing. And then the median pay for it would be about $37.86 per hour, and it would be about 79,000 per year, which isn't bad at all. And then my favorite one would be a hydrologist, which is somebody who studies water and studies the water cycle. And they use their expertise to bring water to places that don't have water, or to find clean water for people to drink. And for this one, you would primarily need a master's degree, but if you wanted just a very simple entry-level job, you could get a bachelor's, but it would need to be in natural sciences, and you would need to be really good at math and science to do this, because they do a lot of statistics and a lot of field work and lab work with it. And it's most interesting to me because ever since I was a little kid, I fell in love with water, and I think that there's something almost mysterious about it, and it's just very interesting to me, which is good because it's going to have an 18% outlook, which is as fast as average, and even though it's just about normal right now for a hydrologist, at least, there's something in the future that you can get a job pretty much right out of college with this. And the pay for this would be $36.39 per hour, which is $75,690 per year. And it would have to pay for a lot of the schooling, because this is the one that you do have to do most of the schooling for. And also, in a lot of states, you would need a license to do hydrology, because it is affecting everyone's life, because water is an essential part of life. And with the 5 that I picked, I think hydrology would probably be my top one, simply because there is such a good outlook and it would be the most interesting to me. But if it didn't work out, I think that doing an environmental engineer would be good, simply because it's something that could help a lot of people, and it's not something you have to get dirty with, and doing surgeries and doing things that would affect other people's lives that you could potentially mess up. But doing things with the environment, you're helping the environment, and it's good because there are a lot of things changing with the environment right now. And those are the 5 career paths that I chose.